Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a truly pivotal and, frankly, pretty electrifying section of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. We've pulled together some rich narrative passages, straight from the heart of the story.
That's right. Our goal with this deep dive is to really extract those essential nuggets of insight, help you understand the crucial character shifts, the unsettling mysteries taking shape, and those surprising facts that, fundamentally set the stage for the war to come in the wizarding world.
Think of it as a shortcut, maybe, to being deeply informed on themes like loyalty, hidden agendas, and how the choices of the past ripple directly into the present. It's all about understanding what's truly at stake and, where the lines are drawn or perhaps blurred. Let's get into it. Okay, so we open on this scene steeped in tension, a clandestine meeting at Severus Snape's home. Picture it. Bellatrix Lestrange and Narcissa Malfoy confronting him, and the air just crackles with, unspoken accusations.
Yeah, and what immediately strikes you in this scene is the underlying power dynamic. You've got Snape's servant, Wormtail, present, described as awkward, almost comical really, scurrying around.
Right.
Yet there's this palpable resentment from Wormtail. He even dares to squeak, "I am not your servant," when Snape orders him to fetch drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Snape's cool, almost silky response about more dangerous assignments just boom, puts Wormtail right back in his resentful place.
And then there's Bellatrix. Wow, she's just this whirlwind of suspicion, firing off accusations like a machine gun. Our sources show her demanding to know where Snape was when the Dark Lord fell, why he never tried to find Voldemort, and what exactly he'd been doing living in Dumbledore's pocket for all those years.
And she keeps going.
Oh yeah, she digs even deeper. Why did he stop the Dark Lord from getting the Sorcerer's Stone? Why didn't he return immediately when Voldemort was reborn? And maybe the most damning question, why is Harry Potter still alive after 5 years at Snape's mercy? It's a full-on inquisition, basically designed to shake his very foundation.
It really is. And Bellatrix's aggressive interrogation, it exposes the deep paranoia woven into the very fabric of Voldemort's inner circle. I mean, even among supposed allies, trust is just such a rare commodity.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, you have Narcissa Malfoy, and her presence is driven by pure, raw desperation. She's there to plead with Snape, believing he's the only one who can possibly help her son, Draco. It's a mother's fear, just absolute and consuming.
And that desperation culminates in a truly dark, binding alliance, the unbreakable vow. Snape makes this solemn promise to Narcissa. To fulfill a deadly task Voldemort has ordered Draco to carry out.
The visual detail here is so chilling. A fiery snake erupts from Bellatrix's wand, twisting and binding itself thickly around their clasped hands. It's magic that demands the ultimate price, There's no backing out.
Exactly. And this isn't merely a magical contract. It's a profound exploration of, forced loyalty, isn't it? It immediately throws Snape's true allegiance into question.
Totally. Is he truly bound to the Dark Lord's will? Or is this vow maybe a convoluted way to protect Draco, perhaps even serving Dumbledore's larger, mysterious plan? This moment just profoundly redefines the stakes for so many characters. It reveals how far a mother's desperate love can push the boundaries of morality and consequence.
So, as the wizarding world is sort of teetering on the brink, Harry Potter finds himself confronting this whole new reality, one deeply entwined with his legacy and some pretty unexpected burdens. We pick up with Harry feeling, melancholic at the Dursleys, still reeling from everything at the Ministry.
Yeah, and the headlines declaring him the Chosen One, reporting on the failed prophecy retrieval, that only compounds his isolation, doesn't it?
Right. Then, in true Dumbledore fashion, he makes this rather dramatic entrance at Privet Drive. The interactions with the Dursleys are predictably cringeworthy.
Oh, yeah.
Dumbledore politely but firmly putting them in their place, even magically making them drink mead and sort of collapse onto the sofa.
Classic Dumbledore. But what's intriguing is his physical appearance, isn't it? His right hand is blackened and shriveled.
Yes.
He hints it's from an old curse, a thrilling tale he promises to tell later, which immediately signals a deeper personal danger he's facing himself.
That injury, combined with Dumbledore's, let's say, unusual methods, it definitely sparks curiosity. But the revelations just keep coming. Dumbledore explains Sirius Black's will, Harry inherits all his gold, personal possessions, and number 12 Grimmauld Place.
Which sounds great, but then there's the catch.
Exactly, a serious complication with Grimmauld Place. These ancient Black family enchantments require pure blood ownership. That means it could pass to Bellatrix Lestrange, Sirius's killer, if Harry can't claim it.
That's quite the inheritance, and a massive problem. So to test the ownership, Dumbledore summons Kreacher, the house elf.
And Kreacher's appearance and his outright refusal to obey Harry are just striking. He repeatedly proclaims Kreacher belongs to Miss Bellatrix.
Openly asserting his loyalty to the Black family and his desire to serve Sirius's murderer. This scene starkly reveals how these ancient prejudices and loyalties, even among house elves, continue to haunt Harry.
It's a heavy burden, for sure. Dumbledore then shares a critical piece of information about the protective magic on Privet Drive. This protection, stemming from Lily Potter's sacrifice and tied to Petunia's blood.
Incredible magic.
It only lasts until Harry turns 17 if he continues to call it home. This means he absolutely must return before his birthday for the magic to hold. It's non-negotiable.
Which just underscores the enduring power of Lily's love and sacrifice, extending protection far, far beyond her lifetime. Dumbledore then has this private conversation with Harry about the prophecy. He advises him to tell Ron and Hermione the full contents. Neither can live while the other survives.
Which is huge.
It's massive, and this leads directly into Dumbledore announcing his intention to give Harry private lessons, preparing him for the inevitable confrontation. This moment really highlights how Harry, already burdened by legacy, is now also singularly responsible for the future, with Dumbledore meticulously shaping him for a battle only he can fight.
Okay, so from the quiet suburban despair of Privet Drive, we shift to Dumbledore and Harry's first mission outside Hogwarts, persuading the eccentric retired potions master Horace Slughorn to return. It's a really fascinating study in influence and motivation.
What's so intriguing about Slughorn is his specific brand of vanity. He adores comfort, obviously, but he also has this distinct penchant for collecting famous and powerful individuals.
Right, the collector's mentality.
Exactly. His home, camouflaged with a freezing charm and dragon blood, speaks to his desire for a quiet life, sure, but also his resources. And he proudly displays photos of himself with prominent figures, the editor of the Daily Prophet, a Quidditch captain always highlighting his connections.
And Dumbledore, ever the strategist, knows exactly how to play this. He uses Harry as bait, perfectly aware of Slughorn's desire to add the Chosen One to his prized collection. Harry himself notices that Slughorn's acquaintances were the kind of people who send him sweets and Quidditch tickets. A subtle hint at how his extensive network operates.
Right, and Dumbledore even cautions Harry about Slughorn's magpie-like tendency. He explains that Slughorn cultivates connections, offers leg-ups, but always expects something in return.
Always a quid pro quo.
Always, whether it's a free box of his favorite crystallized pineapple or the chance to recommend the next junior member of the Goblin Liaison Office. It's a purely transactional approach to relationships, far from altruistic.
Slughorn's character, it really forces us to consider a deeper question. What truly motivates people in times of intense conflict? Is it always about clear moral alignment? Or can personal ambition, comfort, desire for prestige play a significant role?
Yeah, Slughorn is a prime example of someone whose motivations are this complex blend of self-interest and a desire for influence. It reminds us that even allies can be driven by a very human, rather than purely ideological compass.
Meanwhile, the atmosphere in the wider wizarding world becomes increasingly ominous. Hogwarts itself starts to fall under this cloud of suspicion, with unsettling clues pointing directly to Draco Malfoy's dark unfolding path.
Yeah, the news reports are grim. Igor Karkaroff's death, the disappearance of Florian Fortescue, everyone's favorite ice cream parlor owner, and the kidnapping of Ollivander the Wandmaker. It's all spreading, reinforcing this pervasive climate of fear.
And Diagon Alley itself transforms. It goes from this bustling haven into a shadowed place, shop windows plastered with ministry posters, street vendors hawking dubious amulets effective against werewolves.
Yeah, desperate times.
Amidst this growing unease, Harry manages a small personal triumph. He's appointed Gryffindor Quidditch captain, which is great.
A nice little moment for him.
It is. But then, the real suspicions begin to mount, starting with that really uncomfortable encounter with Draco Malfoy and Narcissa at Madame Malkin's rogue shop.
Oh, that scene. Malfoy reacts furiously when Madame Malkin tries to roll up his left sleeve. A very telling detail, suggesting a hidden mark, right?
Absolutely. And his mother, Narcissa, delivers these chilling, veiled threats to Harry. She implies Dumbledore won't always be there to protect you, and wishes Harry to be reunited with dear Sirius before I am reunited with Lucius.
Oof. Given her recent involvement in the Unbreakable Vow, that feels particularly menacing.
It really does, and this sparks immediate alarm in Harry. So Ron, and Hermione later use the invisibility cloak to follow Malfoy to Borgin and Burke's and Nocturne Alley.
And there, they overhear Malfoy ordering Borgin to fix an object that has to stay put, and to keep another one safe for him, he menacingly drops Fenrir Greyback's name as a family friend.
Yeah, using Greyback as a threat.
Exactly. This interaction just solidifies Harry's unwavering conviction. Malfoy has taken his father's place as a Death Eater, branded with the Dark Mark. He's sure of it.
But here's where it gets so frustrating for Harry, and honestly, fascinating for us. Ron and Hermione are completely dismissive of his theories.
Yeah, they just don't buy it.
They argue Malfoy is just showing off or being a prat. They simply don't see the full picture that Harry feels he sees so clearly.
And this skepticism is compounded later, isn't it? With the incident where Gryffindor chaser Katie Bell is cursed by touching a mysterious necklace she was instructed to deliver to Hogwarts.
Right. Harry immediately suspects Malfoy and tells Professor McGonagall.
Yet, McGonagall dismisses Harry's accusation. She states Malfoy was in detention during the Hogsmeade trip, proving he couldn't have directly given the necklace to Katie.
So frustrating for Harry.
It is, and this whole sequence of events really makes you wonder, how do we discern genuine threats when critical information is limited and motives are obscured? And when does healthy skepticism maybe cross over into a kind of blindness that prevents us from seeing the full, dangerous picture, even for people closest to us?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, so while the external world darkens, Harry is experiencing this surprisingly brilliant turn in his academic life, all thanks to a mysterious figure known only as the Half-Blood Prince.
It's quite a turnaround. Suddenly, Harry, who, let's be honest, notoriously struggled with potions.
Understatement.
Right. He's excelling. Slughorn showers him with praise, even comparing his talent to his mother, Lily. And Harry wins a vial of Felix Felicis, the liquid luck potion. Big prize.
So what's the secret to Harry's newfound prowess? It's this old, heavily annotated textbook. Its previous owner, the Half-Blood Prince, had scribbled in alternative instructions and original spells.
Yeah, things like crushing a certain bean with a silver dagger instead of cutting it, or adding a clockwise stir after every 7th counterclockwise stir. These unconventional methods yield incredible, almost magical results for Harry.
You can just imagine Hermione's reaction.
Oh yeah, she is absolutely not thrilled. She labels Harry's methods as cheating and expresses deep suspicion of this prince.
At one point, she's so annoyed, she grabs one of Fred and George's joke products, squeezes it, and it punches her right in the eye, leaves her with a brilliantly purple-black eye.
It's such a classic Hermione moment, right? Fueled by her rigid adherence to rules, and let's face it, maybe a little jealousy.
Maybe. And this really highlights the clash between rigidly following established rules and the allure of innovative, if unorthodox, approaches to knowledge.
Definitely. The prince's spells are also quite unusual. Harry accidentally casts the prince's spell Leave a Corpus on Ron, leaving him comically dangling upside down in midair.
Which sounds like something James Potter might do.
Exactly. Harry initially claims his father used it, which leads to his attempts to figure out who the prince is, even briefly considering James Potter.
But then comes the definitive chronological clue. Harry discovers the textbook is nearly 50 years old.
Bingo. That immediately rules out his father's generation, shifts the mystery entirely.
So the entire Half-Blood Prince narrative pushes us to consider what truly constitutes knowledge or skill. Is it about diligently following instructions, or is there a valid place for unconventional methods, even if their origin is shrouded in mystery?
And at what point does innovation become perceived as cheating? It's a fascinating question.
Okay, now let's step into Dumbledore's private lessons with Harry. These aren't just lectures. They're profound journeys into the very origins of Lord Voldemort himself, using the pensive to examine these fragmented memories.
Yeah, peeling back the layers of the Dark Lord's past. And the first memory Dumbledore shares is particularly stark. The squalid, decaying home of the Gaunt family, Marvolo, Morphin, and Moreau Voldemort's maternal ancestors.
It's grim.
Really grim. The memory vividly depicts their fanatical obsession with pure-blood heritage, their ability to speak Parseltongue, and their general depravity. They live in utter filth, clinging only to this twisted sense of ancestry.
Truly a bleak beginning for the family tree. But then, there's a shocking twist. We learn about Merope's secret, forbidden love for Tom Riddle Sr., a handsome muggle who just happened to ride past their cottage.
And in a brutal display, Morphin, Merope's brother, cruelly jinxes Tom Riddle Sr., and then Marvolo Gaunt, in a fit of pure rage, attempts to choke his own daughter, Meroic, simply for daring to harbor feelings for a muggle. It's just Horrifying familial cruelty born of fanaticism.
It's awful.
After Marvolo and Morphin are imprisoned in Azkaban, Merope, finally free of their tyrannical control, seizes her chance. Dumbledore explains that she likely used a love potion, or perhaps even an imperious curse, on Tom Riddle Sr.
Which leads to their scandalous marriage and the eventual birth of Tom Riddle Jr., who would become Voldemort.
Right. This is where we trace the very roots of evil. How do these early experiences, extreme circumstances, and even coercive love contribute to shaping a person's entire life and, in this case, the rise of such a powerful Dark Lord?
And the young Tom Riddle's habits we see later are chillingly revealing, too. Dumbledore observes his manipulative nature and his magpie-like tendency to collect trophies from his bullying victims.
Innocent items like a stolen yo-yo, a silver thimble, a tarnished mouth organ. It's this nascent form of dark power manifesting in control and acquisition even as a child.
So creepy.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, Dumbledore ends this section by subtly linking Marvolo Gaunt's ring to his own injured, blackened hand. This implies the ring is a powerful, cursed artifact that Dumbledore himself acquired.
Ah, so that's the connection to his hand injury.
It seems so, hinting at his own dangerous secret quest happening outside of Hogwarts. This knowledge of Voldemort's past isn't just academic for Dumbledore, it's deeply personal and clearly perilous.
Wow. Okay, so the mystery surrounding Snape continues to deepen, especially with the shocking revelation of the unbreakable vow.
Yeah.
Our sources describe that Christmas party incident. Harry observes Draco Malfoy trying to gate-crash Slughorn's party, only to be caught by Filch.
But then, to Harry's surprise, Snape intervenes, inexplicably allows Malfoy to stay. Very suspicious timing.
Definitely. And what's truly intriguing is what happens next. Harry, still under his invisibility cloak, follows Snape and Malfoy and overhears this crucial argument.
And this is where Snape reveals it. He made an unbreakable vow to Narcissa Malfoy to protect Draco. This single revelation provides such a complex lens through which to view Snape's increasingly ambiguous actions.
And Malfoy's reaction to Snape's intervention. It's one of angry defiance. He asserts he has his own plan, insisting he doesn't need Snape's protection. He even accuses Snape of wanting to steal his glory.
Yeah, and he goes further, hinting he has other people on his side, better people. This exchange really confirms Malfoy's burgeoning ambition and his independent leanings toward the dark arts. He's not just a lackey anymore.
No, he thinks he's playing a bigger game.
And the gravity of an unbreakable vow, as we mentioned, cannot be overstated. Ron later confirms to Harry, if it's broken, the person dies. Period.
Which puts Snape in an incredibly precarious position. It makes you wonder, can a forced promise like this truly reveal a person's allegiance? Or does it merely add another, more complicated layer of deception to an already mysterious character?
Exactly. What are the true limits of loyalty here? And what personal costs are involved when you try to protect someone, especially from themselves or, a greater evil?
Harry discusses Snape's actions with Ron, Mr. Weasley, and Lupin later. While Ron just confirms the vow's deadly nature, Mr. Weasley and Lupin, despite their long-standing trust in Dumbledore's judgment of Snape.
They offer more nuanced perspectives.
Right. Lupin specifically mentions Snape brewing wolfsbane for him, despite their difficult history. It suggests a far more complex character than Harry is willing or maybe able to admit.
It's a testament really to how few people truly understand Snape's motivations. He keeps everyone guessing.
He really does. Okay, finally, we arrive at the Ministry's very public relations war. A stark example of how authority attempts to control perception in a crisis. Our sources describe Minister of Magic Rufus Scrimgeour's unexpected visit to Harry at the Burrow.
And Scrimgeour presents this clear, almost cynical proposal. He wants Harry to be a mascot for the Ministry.
Basically, yeah.
The explicit goal is to present a unified front, assure the public they are winning the war against Voldemort. He openly states that Harry is a symbol of hope, someone they can leverage for public confidence. It's pure PR.
But Harry's response is just fiery. Principled refusal. He passionately rejects the offer, scathing in his criticism of the Ministry's ineffective and, frankly, unjust actions.
He points to the unfair imprisonment of Stan Shunpike, the night bus conductor, despite his obvious innocence, and of course the Ministry's abject failure to believe Harry about Voldemort's return for so long.
And he even reminds Scrimgeour of the scars on his hand from Dolores Umbridge, that grim physical reminder of the Ministry's past persecution, declaring, "I must not tell lies."
Such a powerful moment. And this refusal raises a critical question for us, doesn't it? In times of national crisis, how do authority figures balance public perception with genuine, sometimes harsh, action?
What is the ethical cost of manipulating truth for political gain?
Exactly. And how does that impact those on the front lines, like Harry, who has seen firsthand the consequences of the Ministry's failures? Harry's stance here is just this profound statement about the vital importance of integrity over political expediency.
So we've taken a really deep dive today. We've explored loyalty, questioned, and oaths unbreakable, unveiled family secrets through the pensive, and traced the chilling origins of a Dark Lord. We've seen how the lines between good and evil can be profoundly blurred by desperation, ambition, or maybe even love.
And it leaves you wondering, if Dumbledore holds such a profound understanding of Voldemort's deepest, darkest past, what exactly is he preparing Harry for with these private lessons? What does that imply for the Chosen One and the future he must inevitably confront? It seems the deeper Harry dives into the past, the more uncertain and frankly perilous his own future becomes.